All right, welcome back. We have a special second episode of Backcountry BSin today.
And we've got, hands down, the greatest backpacking star out there.
So joining us today, Tim freaking Watson.
T-Dubs.
T-Dubs, as we call him. Really appreciate the time coming out and talking to us.
Yeah, he didn't have to come out on this beautiful Saturday evening.
And meet these two random dudes.
Yeah.
Thanks for having me. It's awesome.
Yeah.
This is actually the first time we've met Tim too. Which is
You're seeing the awkwardness on camera for the first time.
There's no awkwardness.
No.
I always think it's really cool, like when you meet someone like in person who you've watched.
Like you've seen all their videos.
Because you can't really hide who you can try to hide who you are like on video, but it doesn't work.
Yeah.
That's like when we went to the first YouTube meetup. Like we'd never met any of these people.
It was like real awkward,
and we like watched each other's videos and stuff.
Yeah, and I was like, I have social phobia, and so I was like, kind of like slowly creep in. Like, what's everyone gonna think of?
But yeah, you totally can't like hide who you are. Like it's if you do, like no one will watch you because it looks like so stilted if you try to fake it.
Yeah.
All right, Tim. So. What got you into backpacking? I'm always curious. We asked Bryce the same stuff, but like, why'd you start backpacking?
I lost this sounds really funny. I lost a ton of weight.
Okay.
So I used to be 260, pushing 260.
Wow.
And then I started eating better, exercising, and running a lot. And I met the guy who will be in another episode, Mr. Subaru Josh himself.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
And he wanted to go to Hocking Hills to go hiking. And we had a group who was going to come with us to go hiking, and everyone else fell through except for us. And we had known each other we met maybe one time. And so I went to Hocking Hills, and I was like, how come no one ever told me like this stuff was out there, like it existed?
So you just did it kind of like, you're like, yeah, it's good exercise. It'd be fun to go outside outdoors, and then you just got hooked from there on.
Yeah. So I went outside being like, oh, I'm going to just walk around, lose some more weight, just kind of keep things off. And it just kind of took off from there. And seeing Hocking Hills, and even though that was a day hike.
So that was your first? That
was the first like real true.
Yeah.
I'd done some hiking before, like in the Adirondacks, like a day hike here and there in college, but nothing really ever stuck. But Hocking Hills, I was like, whoa, this is like crazy beautiful.
What part of Hocking Hills was it? Do you remember?
So it was like just Upper Falls, Lower Falls, Old Man
Okay.
Cave. Yeah, that's the area.
The classic Ohio. Like,
Yeah. And it was winter,
do.
so there wasn't like a whole lot of people there. And so that was just perfect.
So did you just get home and just go like straight to REI or something and just like
Yeah.
take my money?
Yeah, I pretty much was like, I am gonna hike the AT, and I started like researching it. Like,
Give me a pack. I'm quitting my job right now.
Yeah, I think I bought like 2 packs right away that didn't fit me at all. It was just ridiculous. Like I remember texting Josh and being like, we're gonna do this. Like I'm gonna start preparing, and I started watching videos. I was like, wait, people are like, there are backpacking channels out there.
Yeah.
So I got into it that way.
So like, right when you started backpacking, would you say you started YouTubing?
That's the question. Because
Yes.
Bryce was the same way.
Yeah, because but that's fantastic because everybody can see kind of like the evolution of like starting and then growing.
Mm-hmm.
Like we started pretty late in the game, but we've
Yeah.
definitely evolved too. But it's cool to see people like, and I also think it shows an important message too, because like a lot of the backpacking channels like we all watch, it's like everybody's dialed in.
Yeah.
Like you don't see very many mistakes. You don't see that evolution very much, but I like to see people start like
From the very beginning.
And evolve. And you know, maybe they buy new stuff, maybe they don't, but it's cool.
Did you start out hammock camping?
Yes.
You did?
Yes.
Wow.
That is very unique.
So
actually.
how did that happen?
Because I knew I didn't like tents, because I'd done like some camping before in tents. I was like, this stinks, sleeping on the ground. And that was like my reason why I didn't do any huge camping trips or anything, is because I was like, I just can't sleep. So I went, my first hammock purchase was the Warbonnet Blackbird.
How did you know to like look into Warbonnet?
See, so I'm a big researcher. Like I research everything to death. And so that's why I was searching and looking around, and I was like, okay, this seems to be the Ferrari of hammocks at the time when I was looking.
Yeah.
And so I thought, if this doesn't work, then nothing will work. So I usually like to start off like, even though you tell people, you know, try to start a little budget stuff and see if you like it. I have always been like, let's just buy the best, see if it works. If it doesn't work, then it's done.
It's like most people start hammock camping, they're like straight to ENO. Like that's what they start with.
Or
And I feel like it drives people away.
Well, it does. The people that research it are the ones that are generally more successful. That's pretty cool that you did that. A lot of people don't do that.
Did you ever use an underquilt?
Yes.
Did you start with an underquilt?
Yep. I started with a pad, but I got it undercooled pretty quickly.
Okay.
And I just...
Because you're a big pad guy, I know.
Yeah, I still now into
Yeah.
pads just because it's so like so versatile.
Yeah.
So I can just use the hammock as a bug bivvy if I need to.
Yeah.
And honestly,
do you think
most of
that's
the times I've never done it.
I know. I was just gonna say, do you think that's like a real problem? Like,
No.
Yeah.
No, it's I think it's like in my head thing. Like I don't want to have the option of not being able to go to the ground.
Yeah.
We-
I get that.
I mean, we've had some sketcy times where it's been like a little
Close. Yeah.
It's been a little close
like-
here and there, but we made it
It's
work.
like you either sleep on the ground and be really uncomfortable, or you maybe die. It's like, I don't know, you weigh one or the other. That's cool. I didn't realize you went straight to war bonnet. That's really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, most people, and it's cool. I didn't
We did.
Well, yeah, we did, but you knew.
Yeah, I'd used war bonnet.
You had
I
used a war
borrowed.
bonnet, so
Yeah.
it's like that was, we didn't even know, like, we weren't even like, you know what, you know what I mean? I
Yeah.
don't know, most people start there. What is your, so you're still rocking the Dream Hammock currently, right?
Yep.
That's
Dream Hammock 1.7 Hyper D, I think is what it is.
Which one do you have?
I have a 1. I have a Aerobic 1.2, I
1.2.
think.
I also have Aerobic 1.0, which they don't offer anymore because that
That's
fabric.
a tight fabric. I mean,
Yeah,
that's
the fabric has had
super
like
light.
people have reported like having holes develop in it and
Yeah.
stuff like that. So far like nothing. But
Have you tried? So you've tried War Bonnet and Dream Hammock. Have you ever never tried Dutch Wear Hammock or anything?
the thing that I've come close to pulling the trigger on Dutch Wear is their Hexon. Like I really
It's
want
nice.
to try Hexon.
It's nice.
Because it's like
we'll
it's
have it
comfy
next
fabric.
weekend.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. I feel like it's like Aerobic. Like we have the Hexon 1.0 and Aerobic 1.2, and I think it's fairly similar.
Yeah, they feel pretty close actually.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. I want to know the story behind how you got set up with Mountain House.
Yeah.
I have to think back to that one. I think they were. Okay, that's what it was. I remember now. There was another YouTuber I follow, Ugly Tent, Bushcraft. He's a bush.
Okay.
So yeah, when I got into YouTube, it was more like the bushcraft channels are what I followed.
Really?
And by extension, that's how I found the backpacking channels.
So you must have like a knife that's like this big.
I actually don't.
weird, 'cause
I had a
seen
bigger
him
knife.
hiking with a saw.
Yeah, so I followed him, and he got this Mountain House Ambassador box. He just got the welcome box.
Yeah.
They were just starting the program. I'm like, I'll apply for the and there was a official form. They still have it now,
Okay.
and so they have it open. They have rolling who they accept and when they accept it. And so I applied and got accepted, and it's been from there. 2017.
What's your favorite Mountain House? And you're the
I
perfect
want to
one
say
to ask.
I want to say beef stroganoff.
Oh, nice.
That's
That's
like
good.
usually that's my
Solid.
first answer, but Mountain House biscuits and gravy is like
So
pushing.
good.
It's like
I
pushing
deserve
so hard. Like I've had it on I think the last 2 trips for dinner.
Yeah.
Even though it's a breakfast. But I've been starting to do like Mountain House breakfast is the granola and blueberries and milk.
So you just it has like dehydrated milk in it.
Yeah.
You just add water
And
to
so you
it?
just add cold water, let it sit for I don't know 5 minutes.
What's your least favorite Mountain House? We gotta ask you.
Pasta Primavera.
That's actually one of my favorites.
Really? I've never
Yeah.
had it.
But I don't like
It's
it because
creamy.
there's
I
no
like
meat in it.
Yeah, there's
That's
no
why.
meat, but it's creamy. I like it. It's good.
Yeah, but also I guess if I don't hydrate it enough, anything with rice
Yeah.
is like one of my pet peeves.
Yeah.
If you don't do rice right, it turns out terribly.
It's like gravel.
That's funny. What is? I'm actually curious. What's on the backpacking docket for next year? Like, and how to go through like. So you guys just did this big Utah trip. Like, what's the planning process like for you?
Usually I'm the one who does the planning, so I usually start off with a big idea like where we want to go, and I'll run it by the Joshes and be like, hey, what do you guys think about these areas? And then as we narrow it down, we don't really vote or anything, but as we narrow it down, people say, hey, you know, this date will work better for
Yeah.
me. Then we'll figure out trailheads and looking at the different options. But in terms of like, we kind of wing it, or I kind of wing it month to month.
Yeah.
And so if no one can go, like I went, had my accidental solo backpacking trip.
I like that video.
Big Southport. That was a fun video to do.
It's like, well, I'm lost. The trail just kind of ended.
But yeah, it usually depends on like I usually try to go like once a month, like to have a backpacking type
That's
event.
our goal is once
Yeah.
a month, just get out in the woods.
Yeah.
And it averages out probably.
Yeah, because sometimes I do it more, but then there are
Yeah.
other times where I'll skip a month, like around Christmas time is usually when I.
Yeah.
That one's a hard one to get out. And
Yeah.
then one winter trip, because last year was my first like big winter was the Laurel Highlands
Yeah,
Trail
yeah.
with Frozen,
Mhm.
and that was a fun trip.
That looked fun. I think we're just gonna come out and say it. Like,
yeah.
we actually don't really enjoy winter camping.
We've winter backpacked for years and years and years. And last winter, we like woke up and it was like 25, and we're like, it's really not that fun. Like it's a cool. Like being in the woods in the winter is so cool. I mean, it's so different than this. I mean, it's a totally different experience.
I just feel like you get to camp and then you're just like, well, it's pretty
dark.
Cold and it's dark. Well, I guess I'll go to bed.
Where so you did Laurel Highland. Where else have you winter backpacked?
Not backpack, but just hiked around and camped. It was Oil Creek.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
So that one was a kind of fun one as well. That was definitely more camping. But I think whenever we do winter backpacking, I'll be a shelter rat. Like, I think that's so fun.
So the shelters like worked out really well on the islands?
Yep. And I didn't think I would sleep in the shelter. I had my hammock and everything, but every time I was like, you know what? I could just put the pad in there and have like a roaring fire. Meerkat, Alex, was in the shelter with me, I think, one of the nights. And we had that fire blazing so ridiculously hot.
Yeah,
it was really good.
Yeah, I mean, we've stayed in them in the cold weather too. Not
like dead
winter,
of winter though.
But those things will stay consistently like 60 degrees.
Especially if you tarp the sides up.
Yes. Yeah, a lot of people did that when we were out there.
So yeah, we're like thinking about winter backpacking this year, but it's not like
we'll definitely do a few trips, but we're not gonna like.
We're not doing.
We're not going to the Adirondacks. We're not going to go snowshoeing.
No, but I would like to snowshoe or like do a polk or something. I think that'd be kind of cool.
Yeah,
I would like to hot tent.
Yeah. You can't like hot hammock, right? It doesn't work that way.
I think I saw a wall hiker. He's done that. It's like a special tarp, and he had like a little wood stove inside of it.
What's like your dream backpacking place? Like,
or on the bucket list.
Yeah, what are your bucket
John
list?
Muir Trail.
Oh, nice, JMT.
I've
no hesitation with that.
Yeah, that was like my first thing. Like, I really wanted to do it. I actually was prepping to do it this year. Was my goal.
Like
and I don't know when.
Thing, right?
Yeah, the full thing.
How long would that take? Like 2 weeks?
2 weeks at minimum, I think. Okay. But you could stretch it out, and I probably would stretch it out to 21 days. Is what I would want to do.
Like three
just to be like
weeks.
Soak it in. I'd want to stay at like Muir Ranch, for like a night or something like that in the middle of it. I just think it'd be fun.
Yeah.
I mean, you could pull that off.
Yeah.
One of these.
Would you hammock it?
Yeah, I'd bring a hammock.
Yeah. I guess there's plenty of trees there.
And that's when I'd definitely bring a pad.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Because there's some sites that are there where I'd be like, oh, this would be awesome just to stay here, and I want to have that. Like again, want to have the option of doing that.
Yeah. So are you trying to do that are you trying to do that like next year? Like, because you wanted to do it this year, right? But so are you like actively like aggressively
thinking about it? I think about it every summer. Like every summer, and I rewatch Mile and a Half. I don't know how many times now.
Oh yeah.
I think I'm on like time 6 or 7.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
We were discussing today like our schedule for next year, like on the drive up here. And we were talking about like California, but we've never done like Pacific Northwest or like that area. So that we were throwing that around, but there's also like time of the year considerations.
Yeah, and we're thinking about more segments of the Colorado Trail too.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that would be wet, like Pacific Northwest.
Yes, that's what you're saying.
I was thinking about your Isle Royale trip.
Yeah, it's like that times 10. Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
He's like, well, maybe we'll get rain pants for that trip.
Maybe I'll get some rain pants.
We actually considered parts of the Colorado. I think we were talking about this before, the Colorado Trail, because I had that same data book that you guys have.
Oh, it's nice.
There was an option where I think we were headed out to the Maroon Bells, and there was possibility of something being closed or fires in the area.
Like
I'm like,
backup.
Yeah. So I had the book, and I had like an alternate plan. Like, if we had to, what would we do?
Yeah. We went through that too.
Yeah, we were like looking at backup plans for like fire closures and stuff like that, but we got out there right when like everything kind of calmed down, so we were good. But
you did segments 3 and up,
two through 6.
Because I've heard 1 is like a lot of road walking.
Yeah, that's right.
Right?
We skipped it.
Yeah.
It's 6 miles of road walk, and then another like 6 or 7 miles. Then you go into the woods. So, but I mean, definitely worth it. It's just looking back at it though, we could have, if it was just me, you, and Bryce, we could have added that segment.
Yeah, we were also like, we want to just make it easy because I don't know. I'd be curious. Like, so when you're planning a trip, what's your daily mileage? Like, what do you guys shoot for?
Usually, I start in mine with 10. It's
Okay.
like that's where I feel like that's my minimum. Like, that feels really comfortable.
Yeah.
and then it gets progressively harder after you pass like 12.
Yeah.
Is what I think. And then you're like, I'm ready to be done.
Yeah.
Depends on the elevation though. Like so like Pictured Rocks, I think we whipped out like a 17-mile day because
nice.
the elevation is like nothing, and we felt really good, and we stopped for an hour that day. When we went up, we did like 17, and but yeah, that's usually what it is. 10 is where I start, and then we flex depending on camp and water.
So when you did Laurel Highlands with Frozen, how many miles a day did you guys do? Because he likes to crush it.
Yeah, no, we didn't do as much because of the weather. Like there were some sections of the trail when the first 2 days it was so snowy. Like we realized, and they realized because they're fast, that their pace was not going to cut it anymore. And they're like, okay, we just have to, we were planning on possibly doing the whole trail. Yeah. And then once we saw the conditions, we're like, no, we can't do it.
That's tough in the winter.
Yeah.
70 miles.
Yeah, he wanted to do. That was the original plan was the 4 days, I think, whatever his, and then doing that. And I remember that was the one where I hurt my knee. I think I twisted it pretty good on that trip. And I remember being like, this is awful.
So
and it was just like
in the winter. Only
I twisted
64
it
miles to go.
I twisted it so fierce. I was like, oh, felt like Josh.
So you backpacked with Frozen. What other YouTubers have you backpacked with?
Other Joshes, of course.
Josh's.
Let's see.
Like you never met MacGyver, right? You never.
No.
No. Me neither.
I think Frozen might have been the only. Has there been another one?
Who's your people always ask us who from YouTube would you want to backpack the most with? You gotta say something. Because ours is always David Gray.
Yeah, it's true.
We don't even hesitate. David Gray, obviously.
He just released a new Glacier National Park video today.
Yeah.
Did he?
Yeah.
Let's see, I gotta think about this one. See, but I know so many YouTubers
I know,
now.
that's fine.
I think Marty up north would be kind of interesting to kind of meet and hike with. I think. Have you guys ever watched him? No. He's just so out there, and he reminds me of my own frontier. Okay. Like he's one of those guys who just go out in the backcountry for I don't know how long, and then be like, oh, okay, I guess I'm back now.
Yeah. That's the cool thing. I don't know. It's the cool thing about YouTube too. Is just seeing all these people, and it gives you excuses to go out there. And meet people. Yeah. I don't know. It's changed the way we think about planning trips and stuff like that. I don't know. We just have a lot. It's just an excuse to backpack a lot more.
Yeah, but now it's always like there's kind of some pressure now.
I know.
Yeah, there is pressure now, but the miles is usually the big one that people I think hone in on.
Yeah.
And so even when I started putting miles and I think the overnight low is what people wanted.
Yeah, they do.
What did you do or what did you survive? Yeah, what's the temperature? What did you really go to?
Yeah.
It does kind of annoy me though, because there's kind of this unwritten stereotype that if you're not out there crushing miles on your trip, then
man, people must hate our channel then.
Yeah. then it's just you're not as tough. You're not really experiencing the trail. Yep. And I've seen a lot of people comment on things like that, and it's just I think it's unfair. So
yeah, usually I just kind of go with whatever I'm comfortable with, and then whatever. I gotten pretty good at ignoring people like that. You kind of have to.
Yeah. You definitely do. I don't know. It's interesting.
Yeah, there's a rule that you follow called "Don't read the comments."
It's hard not to though.
Yeah, I always try my best. I always think if the camera were to absolutely die, would I still have a good trip? I have to force myself to be
that's
yep.
Interesting.
The trip is what's more important is not the video. It's more the experience or the trail or whatever. And so sometimes I have to force myself to be I gotta remember that.
Do you ever get that when you're backpacking, when you're filming and stuff, and other people see you?
I have never been caught filming.
Really?
Maybe at camp, someone might see something. Okay. But usually I'll just stop or they don't know I'm filming.
Okay.
Usually it's on the tripod, they don't notice it, so I just interact and they don't even see it.
With us, it's because there's two of us.
Yeah.
And we've got the mics with the dead cats on. And they're what are you guys doing? We have a YouTube channel, right? It's not that weird. It's not that weird.
1 in 4 people have a YouTube channel.
Yeah.
Is that a legit statistic?
No.
I was that's really high.
One thing we were told to ask you about was where all have you lived?
Okay. So I was born in Guyana.
Okay.
South America.
And it's because your parents were missionaries, right?
My grandfather was a missionary.
Okay.
And my dad was born there. My mom was born there, and my grandfather, who was a missionary, though, actually was born in Barbados. And so they moved to Barbados when I was 7 months. So Barbados is where I grew up.
Okay.
And then visited the States a couple times and went to college in New York.
Okay.
And then my wife is from New York and has been like in the same county, went to college in the same county,
nice.
lived there, so she wanted to do something different. So we lived in Colorado, Pueblo.
Oh,
so southern Colorado
nice. Like
for
south,
a year.
Yeah.
It was my internship year. And then we wanted to go back closer to New York, but not in New York. And so I toured like Ohio and Pennsylvania.
And you landed in Findlay?
Yeah. So we lived in a bunch of different areas, and we moved around a ton.
Yeah.
And actually, we weren't actually in Findlay when we first started. We started in Hardin County.
Okay.
So like Kenton.
Okay, yeah.
So I started down there.
Yeah. You picked all the like tiny little areas in Ohio, yeah.
I like rural areas. Like I'm a really big fan.
Do you ever come down to Columbus?
Yeah, my brother-in-law lives in Columbus.
Oh, really? Nice.
Yeah, he lives in. You guys are in Olentangy, right?
No, but it's all really
so
close
like
to each other.
he's in Powell School District. So I don't
Okay,
remember where
yeah.
it is.
Yeah, that's
Very nice.
So yeah, just like right there. It's a nice area.
Yeah. So, what's your favorite Ohio backpacking trail?
I knew you were going to ask
We
me
ask
that.
it to everybody.
Do you?
Yeah.
And when I say everybody, just Bryce.
Just Bryce and you now.
Okay. I have never backpacked in Ohio.
No way.
Wait, no.
Never. I've
Wait.
hiked in Ohio, but I have never backpacked in
You're
Ohio.
right, now that I think, I don't have any videos.
See, and that's why there's no videos of Ohio backpacking.
That is like, what?
So people, when they ask me like what's about Ohio backpacking, I'm like, I don't really know.
Okay, judged on like videos you've seen of people like of backpacking spots, like what area, if you're like, all right, Tim, you have to backpack in Ohio this weekend, where would you be going?
Zaleski.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's what people
nice.
talk
Yeah,
about.
yeah.
Zaleski's nice. It is really pretty. It's just crowded.
It's so crowded.
You
Yeah.
just gotta wait till the season kind of calms down.
Like we went last year, and so like a state forest in Ohio, they want you to camp at designated spots.
Okay.
Which is good and bad. It's good because they have like potable water and they have like a latrine, but it's bad because like literally there was one weekend in Celestia where there were 40 tents at one.
Yeah.
It'll be like the meetup next weekend.
And that's one reason I think of you guys were mentioning it in the break, but like the water situation in Ohio, and then usually the scenery in Ohio. Like I usually say like if I can only go one time a month, like I try to make it like as big as possible, like as epic as I possibly can.
So you're going like up to Michigan and to Pennsylvania and stuff.
Smokies,
and
Kentucky, because one of the nice things that you guys know being in Ohio, like you can hit like a ton of different areas, like within a day's drive, easy.
Yeah, and you're actually like
you're closer to Michigan,
you're
which
close
is
to
nice.
Michigan. Like you could shoot up to like Manitou in that area pretty quickly. But what was interesting is I was telling Tim during our little break here that what really is starting to annoy me about Ohio backpacking is everywhere we go, or not everywhere, but a lot of places, there's like signs of trailhead like do not filter water.
Yeah.
And it's just like, heavy metals, oil drilling or something, runoff or something like that. And it's just, it's disappointing.
Especially when you go to places like Colorado or Utah, and it's like this crystal clear.
All
like,
the snow melts.
And,
and even when we went, that's why I made that joke when we were bike packing in that AAP recreation land. I was like, oh well, hopefully there's no heavy metals in here, because Ohio and Kentucky have like a bad reputation for.
Well, that whole area was strip mined.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, I knew they took everything away, then like took all the coal out, and then laid it back out. Right?
Did you like that area?
Oh yeah, especially for riding the bike. Yeah. Even for backpacking, it wouldn't be bad.
It's really close to us, and we never think to go there.
We've done a bunch of fly fishing in the wilds.
Yeah,
and
it's kind of like Dolly Sod some areas.
Like open?
Without
That's cool.
the blueberry bushes that turn red.
Yeah.
That's what it really reminds me of. There's some areas out there where we're out there on a bike, and you're like, wow, I can't see like anything or anyone for like miles.
Are you planning to do like more and more bike packing?
I think bike packing is like a side thing for me.
Yeah, but never like the main thing.
No, it's not going to take over backpacking at all. It's always going to be like, I'll probably do like 1 or 2 trips a year.
Yeah.
But yeah.
It intrigues us.
Yeah, there's a bunch of like long biking trails, like converted railroad lines that I've read about that go like across multiple states. And I actually have a coworker that did something crazy like riding from like Pennsylvania to like Washington D.C.
Yeah.
on some trail or something
Yeah, like there's
that.
some touring, especially in like West Virginia and stuff, that really intrigues me. Yeah, you can just go for a while, and the gravel stuff is just really interesting. A little terrifying, especially AP lands. Like there were some times there where I was like, this is super dodgy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could just see like weeks of missing work flashing before my eyes. And you go down, like you go screaming down this hill, down graveling. If you fall, like I felt just that one time. You see that scar right there, still healing. I got a bunch of them.
You know, that's interesting to think about because Tim's done bike packing in Ohio.
But you've never backed.
Yes.
Yeah, Tim, thanks for
Really
meeting us out
appreciate
here and BSing with us in the backcountry.
We really appreciate it. Obviously, check out Tim's channel.
No, we don't even have to say
You
that.
if you're watching this, you probably know who he is. But we'll put a link down in the comments. And we really appreciate you taking time out of your Saturday to come BS with us.
Yeah.
Thanks for having me, guys. It was fun. It's always fun.
It's great to finally meet you in person.
Yeah. We'll see you next week too.
Yeah. Come to the meetup. All right. Appreciate it, and we'll catch everyone on the next one.